Okay, welcome back to another League with Modern Jund. Running a slight variation on what I was playing last week. Pretty much the same 75, although I've changed it. Changed the trophies out in the main for an Abrupt Decay and a Terminate. Pretty much literally copying what Reed Duke's been playing. Not really want to question the master. And then change the sideboard around a little bit. We've got Liliana's Triumph, just because I've played against bows quite a lot, and I think it's quite good anyway in mid-range matches. Shaved AD Glamour, it has been overperforming, but maybe if it was too many, and we've gone with the Rampaging Frost on Blight Beetle, Hate against Heliod. Kept an Anger of the Gods in, been impressed with this. Just against quite a lot of the creature decks, and then two Ashioks form our kind of Grave Hate package. No dedicated land destruction in my sideboard at the moment. Just testing what we think against what we think the meta is going to be like in the bigger tournaments at the moment. So. Yeah, Ashiok's still good against one of the big mana decks, the like the Titan, Amulet Titan, Scapeshift decks, so that's going to be our hate of choice there. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into a league, probably get paired against Tron 5 times, but if you're Jan, that's going to be a nightmare anyway. So yeah, let's see how this one goes. Hope everyone's doing well today. If you're enjoying the content, please do consider following my channel. I post a lot of a reasonable amount of Jund and other mid-range content at the moment. So yeah, if it's something that you're interested in, please do give it a follow. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Also let me know in the comments if I've made any real hashes of a game. I'm always keen to revisit and think about what could have been done differently in matches. So yeah, always happy to hear from everyone. Right, we are paired for our round one. Lose the die roll, but the hand is good. We've got Thoughtseize turn 1 into Tarmogoyf. Which is good, so we'll keep this. Gonna need another land, but yeah, Thoughtseize into Tarmogoyf into Liliana. Potential for this hand. I'm finding a painless. Oh, okay, so this is unfortunately a big mana deck right away. So we'll play Overgrown Tomb here. We want to find another land really. Thoughtseize my opponent. Okay, so they've already got an amulet on the battlefield. We're just going to take this Dryad. Makes the Tarmogoyf much bigger. It's an enchantment and a creature. They've already got this amulet, so yeah. I don't know, maybe I could have taken that, but we've got a Kolaghan's Command. Although maybe Kolaghan's Command mean we should have taken an amulet, because then we could have destroyed the other one in a couple of turns. I think I would have done that on the play, but here, I mean, they could have played the Dryad here. On the play, this would have been so much better, because we could have turn 1 taken an amulet, turn 2 played Goyf, turn 3 sacrificed the Dryad, turn 4 potentially destroyed an amulet, but alas. Do we want to get? We want to get Tarmogoyf. I can see an argument for playing Croxer. We're definitely getting Blood Crypt. So Croxer here makes my opponent discard a card, but Tarmogoyf gets the clock going. I think we're going to play Tarmogoyf, and then next turn we'll play Croxer. If we don't find another untapped land for Liliana. Could of course always have played the Ravine in order to Liliana next turn. Opponent has a lot of mana this turn, hoping that they haven't found a Primeval Titan. Okay, it's an explore, so they're playing playing lots of lands this turn. Okay, Nymph, so they might have drawn another. Okay, just no plays. Okay, that's not amazing. We'll play the Croxer. This just might put another card type in the graveyard for Tarmogoyf. And we're a bit surprised my opponent didn't play that grazer there. I guess they're expecting a discard. Do we know what my opponent's got in their hand? Cavern of Souls. Have they bounced any other lands? Don't think so. I think Vesuva and 2 unknowns. Okay, still Vesuva. Okay, so we're going to want to start. Is it correct to Liliana? Or do we want to Colligan? So we're going to Liliana. We've got 2 copies of Colligan's Command. Doing this pre-combat here to possibly grow the Tarmogoyf. My opponent discards an unwanted Amulet of Vigour. Going to ditch a Bloodbraid Elf because we can actually cast Colligan's Command at the moment, and we want to keep my opponent off as many cards as we can. Okay, so my opponent just got a Simic Growth Chamber in hand. Opponent looking to peel a Primeval Titan off the top, but here we go. So actually, this is fine because this is lethal potentially in 2 turns. If we can get them Hellbent here, so this turn will be, let's say they don't draw a Titan, we attack. It looks like they have drawn something good. So in theory, we want to get them Hellbent, and then in their upkeep, we'll Colligan's Command, attack them for, hit them for 2, make them discard, and then do that twice, and then 2 attacks with the Goyf is lethal, and they'll never have any cards to play. Okay, that's a Khan the Great Creator. Better than a Primeval Titan. Depends what they go and fetch here. We don't really mind, I don't think. If they go and get a card to use next turn, we can kill it with Colligan's Command. Well, we can get rid of it with Liliana and Colligan's Command, discard. If they get something for now, don't know, we'll see what they get. A lot of possibilities. Engineered Explosive. Okay, so that's going to kill the Goyf. Okay, so what we're going to do... Okay, so we find Terminates. Do we want to tick that up? Do we want to ditch the Terminate? It can kill... No, we're definitely ticking this up. We're going to try and ensure they don't find a Titan. Okay, so we're just going to attack my opponent here. Okay, so we are going to need to find a land here, but in my opponent's upkeep, we're going to make them discard and shoot Khan the Great Creator for 2. So, target player discards a card, deal 2 damage. This is protecting against a good top deck for my opponent, stops them searching for another card. An option would have been to return Tarmogoyf here. Yep, that's a very good hit, because that would have been a Primeval Titan this turn. I think would have been close. Teleria West transmutes for Teleria West transmutes for what's it called? Summoner's Pact, and then yeah, they get the Titan, but I don't think they could have cast it as well. But a good card to get out of my opponent's hand. Okay, we find a Lightning Bolt. So I think here, are we edicting them? And then doing the same thing. No, I think we're going to... yeah, we're going to tick up. We'll get rid of Lightning Bolt. And then we're going to kill Khan in my opponent's draw step with Kolaghan's Command. So, same again. Target player discards a card, deal 2 damage. Gonna try and win with Liliana. So we get a Dryad out of my opponent's hand, which isn't too bad. We'd love to find a land for Croxer or Bloodbraid Elf. Okay, that's a land. So we'll do this. Oh, we can't play Croxer with that land, so... we will cast Inquisition, just get it out of our deck. Fuel for Croxer. Next turn we will be turbo ultimating Liliana. Really need to avoid a Titan here. Stirrings, that's okay. Khan is annoying. I mean, it could have been worse. See what my opponent gets. They could get... I'm assuming they've got some sort of graveyard hate in hand. Oh no, they just tick up, which is fair. Okay, so... a land would mean we could kill Khan with Raging Ravine, which is, I think, what we're going to do. Although... we could... okay, so we've got lots of options here. We could decide we don't care about Khan. Decide we don't care about Khan. Attack my opponent for 4, 5, 6, 7. Put them to 2. But then they can go and... I don't think we can let them go and get something with Khan. We don't know what they've got. It could be a Worm Coil Engine or whatever. We could play Croxer, but I think we're going to play the land. Plus... fetch with the land. We'll just grab a swamp, I think. Yeah, I don't want to take much damage. And then we'll fire up the ravine. Because we can't kill them this turn anyway. Given that we can't kill them, we do have lethal next turn. I think... what's that? 5, 6, 7, 8. Not quite, but we can ultimate next turn as well. So I think that's the right play here. Just wanting to fade a Primeval Titan from my opponent, which potentially just wins the game. Not sure. They'd have to spend all this mana. They wouldn't be able to give it haste. Okay, we get there. So combination of we have made them discard all their cards between Liliana and Kolaghan's Command there. So yeah, that went good to win round 1 there on the draw. Okay, so definitely want Ashiok. Stop them searching their library. Lightning Bolt is okay against Khan. Fatal Push, I think. Well, I think I can see an argument for Fatal Push. I think we want Fatal Push before we want Lightning Bolt. No, don't want that. Deglamour's potential. It shuffles in Amulet and also shuffles in the Dryad. Triumph is potential. Is this protection from green? Creature your opponent's control. Yeah, we don't want that really. Renin 6 does nothing in this matchup. We're lucky not to see one there. Terminate's okay, although Abrupt Decay kills the amulet and kills Dryad. So I think we definitely want to bring in these. So Deglamour is essentially just copies 3, 2, 3, 4 of Abrupt Decay, is it? Because it kills the enchantments. I guess this can kill some of the smaller creatures. I can see getting rid of Maelstrom Pulse. We'll cut a couple of lightning bolts. And then we'll bring in these. Especially if they're on the Calm plan, we want all of the all of the artifact destruction. What do we think about this? Season Pyromancer could be a bit slow, but I don't think anything in our 75 is better, so I think we'll go with this. Let's see what sort of hand we open. Again, this hand is interesting. I think I'm going to keep this. It's got the potential, if we find a land, for discard Tarmogoyf for Liliana. If we don't, we can still cast 2 discard spells by turn 2. So I think we'll keep. We haven't got Ren and 6, so we don't have to worry about getting that on turn 1. Ancient Stirrings. Sorry, getting green-red on turn 2. So what are they looking for? They haven't mulliganed. Okay, so we can Thoughtseize that at some point. I wonder if we're meant to Thoughtseize here, because it definitely hits. Play a Swamp. It's usually correct to lead on Inquisition. I've only got lots of cards in. Well, yeah, I think we'll Inquisition. Okay, so we do hit. I've got double Khan anyway. Take a Dryad and see what happens now. We've drawn Terminate, which isn't too bad. They play the Talaria West. They haven't actually got green mana. Okay, so we're going to want to draw. I'm going to Thoughtseize here. Interestingly, yeah, they haven't got green mana, so we could just take a Khan here. We're going to have to grind through these Khans. Yeah, let's take a Khan, play this tapped, and then we really want to find an untapped land off the top. Ideally, our draws now would be battlements. Okay, so we know 3 of my opponent's 4 cards. Ideally, we would find that's fine. We want another land off the top, really, but let's let's Liliana. I think we're going to discard Terminate here. I could see an argument for Liliana or Goyf, but next turn we may play we may tick up Liliana next turn, play another Liliana tick up just to try and rid my opponent of cards. We really want to find a green land off the top though for Bloodbraid Elf. Yeah, because my opponent can play Khan, the Great Creator, this turn. There he is. I guess taking Khan might have been a bit loose there because they can they wouldn't have been able to play 2 because they're legendary, but that's a very good draw. So we could get the last 2 cards out of my opponent's hand, but I think we're going to play Bloodbraid Elf, so we'll tip this up first in case we hit another one. Get rid of Liliana now. Goyf's getting pretty sizable. Opponent discards and explore. Okay, so hitting lands there on curve was very good. And yeah, we'll Thoughtseize my opponent. Okay, so they have just a Talaria West in hand. We'll attack Khan. Opponent at 20 life, not really any point in going after their life total just yet. Opponent hasn't got any green mana whatsoever. Yeah, I thought my opponent might go and get some sort of artifact. Gets engineered explosive, but they can only cast it for 1. Right, it's Sunburst. I think my opponent has made a slight error, because I think they forgot that they can only cast engineered explosives for 1. And forgot it's Sunburst. They need to draw. Yeah, my opponent just concedes to that. Opponent thinking, I think, that the X in engineered explosives was payable with either forgetting that the X was only payable with different colours of mana via Sunburst, or forgetting that they hadn't actually drawn any coloured mana sources apart from Teleria West. So, or that they didn't have a Dryad on the field, because Dryad can get Sunburst for up to 5. But yeah, a good showing there against there. Even without this, I don't think there was much my opponent was doing. We were killing Khan next turn. They could have got something like Pithing Needle to stop Liliana, but we kill Khan, play an enormous Goyf. My opponent's so far off casting a Titan with this land base. So yeah, happy with that. See you back around for round number 2. Okay, welcome back for round number 2. We are on the play, which is good. I think I've played against these people before. We'll keep this. It's 4 lands, which is a bit unfortunate, but anything with Inclination turn 1 and a Liliana on turn 3 is not too bad, especially on the play. Okay, so we'll lead. This we've got a decision already. This one, do we want to play a basic swamp in case my opponent's on burn, or do we want to play a Blood Crypt in case we want to cast Brennan 6? I mean, we're gonna have to shock Blood Crypt in if we want to play Croxer anyway, so I think we're gonna Blood Crypt. Okay, it's the league when I skimp on land destruction. We hit Amulet Titan into Eldrazi Tron. So we'll take this Matter Reshaper. Because we have to. Okay, so plays Eldrazi Temple, pass. That's a Tarmogoyf. They've got 2 Khans. I think I'd rather play the Goyf now that we've drawn it. And then we can discard Khan to Liliana. Ooh, that was a very good draw from my opponent. 2 temples. They can now take our Liliana. Okay, another Inquisition, not ideal. Ditch a Khan. Now, we know that there's a Radiant Fountain and a Khan the Great Creator in my opponent's hand. I think we're going to wait on this Inquisition until they've done something with the Khan. Just because. So a Khan on turn. The only thing this is likely to hit is an Expedition map or a. Okay, would have hit the Dismember there. And they found a Matter Reshaper as well. That is a little rough. What I was saying is I was going to hold on to this Inquisition until my opponent plays their Khan on turn 4, because then they tick down, they probably go and get something, with this mana base, they probably go and get something quite low CMC, like a Trinisphere or something, so we can then Inquisition it. As it turns out we were pretty punished for that line, because my opponent drew 2 spells CMC 3 or less that we could have taken. And now this is just rotting in hand. So we'll play this. If I Inquisition, there's no way anyway that we can play Croxer next turn. So we just have to pass. We need to find Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf's good, Terminate's good. We are not quite dead next turn because we've got Raging Ravine. Okay, that's a Catacombs that we can't play because then we will be dead. Yeah, we're relatively punished there for our line. So the question is, do we block here or trade with the Reshaper? I think if we just block, we can't win because we haven't got any removal spells, so we need to block here and then find a Terminate or a Liliana. Opponent finds a Mind Stone. Puts onto the battlefield. That does let them play Khan. So now we need to find all sorts of stuff here. Bloodbraid Elf is our potential out. Yeah, I feel like we got a little bit unfortunate here. My opponent finding the Eldrazi Temple for the turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer ahead of our Liliana on turn 3, and then us saving the Inquisition, which I think was fine. Into my opponent drawing 2 CMC3 cards. Okay, so Bow doesn't do anything for us. Yeah, we die to that. Okay, yeah, got given a beating there by our Drazzy-tron. Let's see what we have in the sideboard. So, we don't have much for this. Liliana's Triumph is good. Inquisition is notoriously bad against these. Plague Engineer is good. And so we're definitely bringing in these 3. Is there any more cuts we need to make? Ren 6 isn't great. But the rest of it's... Bolt's not great, but it can kill. It can kill Khan. What's for us on a 3-3? I think we'll... Declammer's fine, especially with the Khan the Great Creator build. So I think we'll put one of these in, like that. And then cut one Ren 6 for another one and go with something like that. Actually, it's not as good here as it is against regular Tron. Okay, an obvious unkeepable 7. This is not much better, but turn 2 Crocs, turn 3 Pulse, turn 4 Elf is okay. Bottom of the Forest. Okay, we're going to need a little bit of help here, especially with my opponent keeping 7. Declammer's not a bad find. Oh, wrong land. Let's see. See what my opponent discards. Opponent does run things like Chalice, but I don't think we're too worried about Chalice, especially with these 2 answers to it here. Okay, opponent getting rid of Walking Blisters. Nice for us. Looking like it could be a natural Tron hand. This could be a Chalice on 1. Oh, that is a Ballista. Okay, well, that draw means we're going to just take our 2 for 1 here. Normally you'd name Eldrazi with this. Need more black. Can we just get basic swamp here? Yes, I think so. So we're going to take our 2 for 1. We can just name Construct with this. No real harm in doing that. Bit surprised my opponent didn't shoot me, they must have just forgotten. Either that, no, I'm not surprised actually, because then I could have named Eldrazi. Ah, no land for my opponent. Land would be nice for me. Ooh, Liliana will also be fine. So we'll tick up. We'll discard Declammer. Gets rid of the Thought Knots here. Yeah, so with that Walking Ballista, if my opponent shoots me, the Plague Engineer comes down and names Eldrazi. Okay, so is there anything you want to do here? We'll Thoughtseize first, see what my opponent finds, what my opponent has. Okay, all this dust is really rough, as is Khan the Great Creator. Opponent's got a lot here, so they're either a Tron piece or two. They're 3 mana away from casting this, which one of it could just be the Tron land. They can cast this with just any land. Matter Reshaper is really annoying, although actually Matter Reshaper is fine because we can pulse it. So I think here we're going to take... This is rough. I think we're going to take Khan, tick up, pitch Bloodbraid Elf, just because we haven't got enough lands. And then, I don't know, I could see... No, we're not attacking because we don't want to give them extra stuff. So our opponent gets rid of Walking Ballista. I could block here. I think I'm just taking the damage. So we're going to take it here, because now we can Maelstrom Pulse these away. Okay, opponent has found a land. Okay, so we're going to want to... So we'll tick up, get rid of this Lightning Bolt. And then we'll Maelstrom Pulse these, and then hope they don't find anything really good. Wastes will go onto the battlefield. Oh no. Okay, so we if my opponent finds any land at all, they're going to get to slam a Wormcoil Engine. Okay, 2 cards in hand. We'd love a land for Croxer, really. Make them discard the worm. I'll play this Goyf. Tick up. Get a card out of my opponent's hand. They're probably just holding on to the Wormcoil for dear life. Oh, they're not. Okay, so I would imagine my opponent has something really strong. What would they hold over a Wormcoil Engine? It could be another Wormcoil Engine. Seven. Khan liberated? Oh, they found another All Is Dust. So now we need a land for... Oh, that's the worst draw in our deck. No, maybe not the worst draw. Worst draw will be Hand Disruption. Opponent finds Mind Stone. It's a Cavern of Souls. So now we want land for Croxer. What we really want. Okay, that's another one of our worst draws. This is pretty rough here. Giving my opponent loads of draws is not great when they're on Eldrazi Tron. For this reason. They find Khan and go and get... Hopefully they set up something for next turn. We're really stymied on mana here. We get Ballista. I guess that blocks a potential Bloodbraid Elf. Okay, so we find a land finally. So, are we Bloodbraiding or are we Croxering? I think at this point we need to Bloodbraid Elf. And then Croxer next turn. Want to hit something that kills Khan, really. Tarmogoyf's fine. He is a 7/8 after all. So yeah, we're going to attack Khan here. Opponent has free reign for a turn. They found something good. Yeah, that's pretty rough for us. I'd imagine they'll destroy the Tarmogoyf. Okay, opponent getting into... Oh, they can play that, of course. Okay, yeah, this has been pretty rough here. Okay, so we find a lightning bolt. Not really worth killing the Khan, so we might as well play the Croxer. Kind of set up for a future turn. So we'll get rid of... we want to keep the Tarmogoyf as big as possible, so get rid of Thoughtseize. We've got any instants? We do. Deglamour. Plague Engineer. They've got creatures, so... oh, they've got Sorcery as well with all this dust, so we'll get rid of them. Pulse. And then, yeah, let's get rid of that Goyf. Okay. So yeah, Bolt can go to face. But we'll probably use it to kill this Khan here. Or they just find another Khan. And Sundering Titan will probably lock it. Oh no, they can. Yeah, they can cast it, I think, because they've got Ugin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, they can't quite. So we can Thoughtseize that, which is, thank goodness. So now we might as well. No, there's no point in not. I was going to say we could Croxer to get the last card out of my opponent's hand, but we might as well Thoughtseize, and then we can. And then we can Croxer on a later turn. Bolt this Khan. And then play a Croxer just as a. So we'll keep this one. We're just trying to get as much pressure on the board as possible so that if we can ever destroy this ensnaring bridge. Opponent finds a blast zone as well, which isn't ideal. Raging Ravine, also not the best. Do we want to continually escape Crocs? I would imagine my opponent will blast zone. My Goyf is nowhere near attacking anyway. I think we're probably trying to burn them out here. So let's put them to 7. Did we sideboard out some bolts in the end? No, so we have got bolts and we have got Colligan's Command. We've gone through 2 copies of Lightning Bolt. Yeah, let's use our mana. Like, this game is, we're pretty much just, so, yeah, we're actually going to want to keep a Lightning Bolt in the graveyard, just in case we draw a Renin 6. Although, is this permanent you can destroy? Yeah. Okay. Doesn't really matter which one we keep. What's my opponent gained life from? They're at 10. Oh no, yeah, this puts them to 7, yeah, that's it. Okay. So, opponent now at 7, so we can kill them if we find... So they've got all the mana in the world. If we find Bolt, Colligan's Command. terminate. That's not what we want. That's a smasher, but I mean it can't attack, so yeah, I think we're definitely on the burn plan. Or the Liliana plan? Yeah, Liliana's fine here. I mean, Ugin can kill it. Oh, I suppose my opponent can get the Blast Zone up to 3, kill Liliana, which would kill Liliana, and then they can attack for 2/4. They can attack with all of this stuff. And they rip another Khan. Let's see what they go and get. Tormod's Crypt, sure. Okay. Yeah, finding Bloodstone Mire not ideal there. We will play it. And then we'll tick up. Unless my opponent hasn't realised that the Blast Zone will kill Ensnaring Bridge. But they can attack now. No, we want to turn off auto heals because we do have a blocker in Raging Ravine. Okay, exiling their own graveyard. Oh, they can reveal one of the cards they just exiled. What are they going to get? Ballista, they've got 1,000,000 mana. Yeah, that's just game over. Yeah, that was really unfortunate, I think. What was it that happened? It was quite early doors, wasn't it? Where... Yeah, we got quite unfortunate in one of the early turns, I think. And then later on, my opponent started ripping the kind of planeswalkers. Was there an All Is Dust or something that they found? Yeah, we had a big broad presence. It was the whole Wormcoil Engine. So we knew they had Wormcoil Engine X in hand. We discarded. They had one card left. And they found the land for All Is Dust. And then, yeah, after that it was kind of all she wrote. But yeah, this is off on the way with Eldrazi Tron. Don't think we could have done anything too differently. But GG's, and we'll see you back again for round number 3. Right, welcome back for round number 3. We have won the die roll against Hariko Rouge. Does that mean anything? Rouge is red. Hariko, isn't that a bean? Okay, bit off topic. This is a mulligan. Okay against a creature deck and if we find another land, but not guaranteed. This is... yeah, this is fine. I was going to say, this is okay, but actually with a Ren and 6, this hand's perfectly fine. We'll keep and get rid. Got 2 conflicting 3-drops. We're not casting this for a while. Let's get rid of the decay. So, with this, we kind of want to see a kind of grindy match or a creature match. We don't want to see mulligan to force. This probably isn't that. Mulligan to force suggests Dredge or Tron, really. So we'll play a Foothills and pass, and then end of turn we'll fetch up a Overgrown Tomb. I'm expecting dredge, but let's say my steam vents. Okay, yeah, dredge. Okay, yeah, less than ideal, but they do hit land with their dredge. So we will get an overgrown tomb. Okay, so our hand is all of a sudden fairly garbage. Although this is one of the benefits of Seasoned Pyromancer, they can loot away bad cards. Oh, it's not that garbage. Like Ren 6 doesn't do too much, but it is fixing our mana here. Okay, so they're on the Silver Smoke Ghoul plan. They don't hit any dredges. Oh, glimpse. Okay, so hit a Creeping Chill. So we're getting Narcomoebid. Hit one Creeping Chill and one Prized Amalgam. And a Silver Smoke Ghoul, of course. Okay, so we found lots of lands. So we're just going to ping some stuff. We could ping this. They've hit a dredger, so it might come back. We can block this with the tokens. We can't block this, so let's just ping Narcomoeba. Play this. We're going to play out Seasoned Pyromancer. Liliana we don't want to keep because we don't want them actively discarding cards. Do we want to get rid of Bloodbraid, or it could be a land actually, because then we can buy back the land next turn with Renin 6. Not trivial. What would we like to Bloodbraid into? I think we're going to get rid of Bloodbraid here. Yeah, Goyf's the kind of thing we're looking for. So opponent does have a dredger. They have Golgari Thug. No more creatures yet. They're going to dredge, I would imagine. They hit another ghoul. So there's a ghoul in there. That's pretty much it though. So we will be blocking. Okay. Yeah, we're happy to do this, I think. They've got no way of getting a creature back at the moment. There's another glimpse. Oh no, there's a Golgari Thug. They haven't got any dredgers, so we could shoot that. Okay, Lightning Bolt's not too bad. We're going to play the Goyf. Is that right? Yeah. Goyf. Play a land. This hasn't got Death Touch or anything. Am I getting the land back, or am I pinging Silver Smoke? Let's ping here. And then just say go. Yeah, Goyf's what we want. Because he's pretty big. So, yeah, this is like a different version of dredge to what we're used to. Opponent looking for more Silver Smoke Ghouls and things, I would imagine. If they attack with the Golgari Thug, we're taking the damage. Yep, we're happy to take that. We don't want to put something on top, I would say. I'm a bit surprised they didn't leave it back to block, really. Another Thug, sure. So, put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. Okay, so they'll be putting Narcomoeba on, which will hit one Prized Amalgam. I feel like we're fine with that. So we'll go and get a blood crypt. And then where's this bolt going? I think we're bolting this. We want to start damaging my opponent. So they're going to put Narcomoeba on top. Yeah, and then they're going to dredge. Oh, they do have a dredger now. Maybe that was loose, but they could have blocked it anyway, and we need to start attacking. Inquisition. No, we're just going to loot that away with Seasoned Pyromancer. I think not worth it. So let's do that now. We'll activate Renin 6 first, in case we hit a Renin 6 with Seasoned Pyromancer. Red. Yeah, let's do this. Draw some more cards. Make some more 1/1s. Yeah, that's another Goyf. That's what we want. Attacking him for 7. We've just kind of swarmed the board here. So Catacombs. Go and just get a basic, I think. So you have a lot of power on the board, and Renin 6 to clear away a blocker. They're going to put a Prized Amalgam tapped. They don't find a... what's the gain life spell called? Oh crikey, I can't remember. Why can't I remember that? Creeping Chill. Yeah, Thoughtseize not great. So I think we're just gonna... have they got any other Narcomoebas? How does this work in terms of order? So if I kill everything at the same time... no, they'll still be able to put the Narcomoeba on top. So, yeah, we're just going to ping the Narcomoeba. No, we could ping the Thug. And then they have to put a Dredger on top. Yeah, okay, so... or we could ping my opponent, but that's not right. Ping a Thug. So they'll put something on top. Silver Smoke Ghoul maybe, or... not sure. And then we'll attack with everything. These Goyfs are 6/7s, so my opponent does have to block. Actually, is this just lethal? No. I was going to say, if they had one fewer blocker, I think it would be, yeah. But, alas, no. And then we've got the Seasoned Pyromancer in the graveyard to make more tokens, which is nice. Okay, putting another Thug on top. Yeah, we're just, we're the beatdown now. So I'd expect a... yeah, they have to block here. So they're going to put Narcomoeba on top. Do the same thing. We're not going to play out our land. Just going to hold firm. They're looking for Creeping Chill. They hit 2 Narcomoebas. I suppose, yeah, putting extra things on top with Golgari Thug makes it less likely that they hit Creeping Chills. Either one of our Goyfs is now lethal. I have to remember to make the tokens. If my opponent attacks, we just let it happen. They are attacking and they're killing Renin 6. Yeah, we're fine with that. Like, Renin 6 isn't doing anything for us really there. I mean, yeah, if my opponent doesn't have a removal spell, this is just lethal now. Yeah, that just gets there. So my opponent attacking there, they could have blocked this turn, but they still take 5, and then yeah, that's pretty good. So in this matchup, okay. So interestingly, Rampaging Feroz done pretty good here. So they can't gain life from the Creeping Chill. And then it's going to start pinging them if they start dredging creatures over and over again. So what don't we want? We don't want Liliana of Veil because we don't want them actively discarding cards. Fatal Push is bad. So we're definitely bringing in. We'll bring in the Froston. Definitely bringing in Anger of the Gods because it exiles their creatures, and obviously definitely bringing in Ashiok because it exiles their graveyard. Declimber for Shriekhorn is not enough. Plague Engineer is good. This can just stop the ghouls and the prized amalgams. I think they're probably both zombies as well, so I mean not stop the prized amalgams, but yeah, it can shrink them because I think ghoul and amalgam are both zombies. I would look that up if it's going to become relevant. We want to keep in the discard just to take a potential. I don't know this deck as well as I know quote-unquote regular dredge. They're running blue for the what's it called? The Glimpse the Unthinkable. So I think we want to keep in the discard for that. Are we happy with this 60? Renin 6 is quite low impact. Terminate as well. Do we just want Collective Brutality instead? Definitely instead of Terminate. And then do we want it instead of Renin 6? Renin 6 pinging is good at clearing out Narc Amoebas, and if they're running the ghouls, it's pretty good at killing those. I think we'll cut one and bring in a Collective Brutality for another. No, I think on the play we'll keep Renin 6 in. We saw there it cleared out a lot of blockers. Make the screen a little larger. Okay, so Goyf one of the better cards in this matchup. We are a little heavy on lands, but we've got a 2-drop into a 3-drop. So I think we'll keep. Like I say, Goyf. Okay, Leyline of Sanctity is interesting. Yeah, notably Ashiok does not care about Leyline of Sanctity because you can target yourself. And then it still exiles each opponent's graveyard. Okay, so Nihil Spellbomb, interestingly here, would not have done anything for us. So this is going to be a Glimpse the Unthinkable, I would imagine. Yeah, don't hit any Narc Amoebas. They hit 1 Silver Smoke Ghoul, 2 Silver Smoke Ghouls, Golgari Thug. Yeah, that was a pretty good one. Okay, we're not finding too much there. So we're just going to play this Tarmogoyf as a 3/4. Hopefully don't get dismembered or lightning axed. Have they put an instant into the graveyard? No. I imagine they dredge something here. They do hit a Narc Amoeba, but now the Goyf goes up with the Leyline of Sanctity. Okay, but just not doing anything else because they didn't hit a thing. They didn't hit a Creeping Chill. Okay, so we've got choices now. We can go Renin 6 ping attack, or we could go Plague Engineer. Is that a zombie? Yeah, zombie vampire. I think we're going to go Renin 6 because we want to save the Plague Engineer. Save the Plague Engineer for the zombies when they come out. Opponent dredging more, I'd imagine. There's a Creeping Chill. Oh, they hit an Ox as well. That's not ideal for us. We didn't see this last turn, so they're going to cast the Ox, dredge a lot of things. Here we go. They're going to bring back some ghouls here, but we can clear them out with Plague Engineer. I'd imagine they dredge carefully so as to shrink the Goyf as well, so that ley line will definitely be going. Yeah, Goyf becomes a 2-3. Oh, this hits this. So are these zombies as well? The prized amalgam? They are, okay. So they are running Cathartic Reunion. Okay, Goyf back up to a fairly large threat. They hit another Ox, which we could have done without. Okay. So Plague Engineer is going to do some work here. Now, that's interesting. So Goyf shrinks if we do that. But I think it's worth it. If we could have drawn that a little bit earlier. Oh no, Goyf doesn't shrink too much. So what we're going to do is we'll ping one of these with Brennan 6, and then we'll play Ashiok. Mill myself and exile my opponent's graveyard. And then just play a land and say go. And then next turn, hopefully, if we survive, because they can't dredge anything now, so this will be it for a little while. Wouldn't be surprised to see them attack Ashiok. No, they are going for me. So we'll block here, take 9. But next turn we can clear out the rest of their stuff. Hopefully they don't have too much here. Not a glimpse. 3 mana. Is this just a prized amalgam hardcast? Stinkweed Imp, so that's not too bad. So, okay, Lightning Bolt is nice there. That's an Imp. So we're definitely Plague Engineering. So we'll play a land. So these two will die to the Plague Engineer. And then we could... I think we're going to Lightning Bolt the Imp. Or we could Croxer. Croxer is... Okay, so we're definitely casting this Plague Engineer. Naming a zombie. And then... What do we Lightning Bolt? Lightning Bolt the Imp, and then this can trade, I think. Yeah, that's fine. Tick this up to get back Blood Crypt. Mill myself, exile my opponent's graveyard. Okay. So my opponent has 3 cards. Well, 2 cards in hand, plus a draw, plus their prized amalgam on the battlefield. Don't know if they run Conflagrate. We are at 5, so Creeping Chill is certainly live for my opponent. Oh, they can't search their library because of Ashiok, so Creeping Chill less live. Is this another hardcast amalgam? Oh no, another Stinkweed Imp. Okay. We will trade here. Okay, opponent not attacking. There's a Ravine. So, let's see what we can draw. Inquisition. not what we want to find, really. Let's play Croxer. Get the last card out of my opponent's hand. Another Stinkweed Imp. We need more red mana next turn. So we'll buy back the peatland for future reference. Play the Ravine. Mill myself, getting rid of everything in my opponent's graveyard. My opponent has nothing left. Well, no cards in hand. Oh, we hit Seasoned Pyromancer, which is nice. We are going to have to kill this Stinkweed Imp at some point. Opponent might attack the... Oh no, they are attacking me. Okay, Raging Ravine. Not ideal. So we're going to cast Croxer first. Black, black, red, red. What do we want to get rid of? Happy to get rid of lands. We want to keep at least one Planeswalker for... there's a Ferocidon. But we're on too low life for Ferocidon. Does that keep any lands in for a future Tarmogoyf? We can get rid of another creature. Get rid of that Goyf. Okay, we'll have my opponent discard a card, see what they discard. Leyline of Sanctity. Sure. So we are going to have to find... Oh, oh no, that's fine. So I'll sacrifice here. Buy back that. And then I don't think there's any point in milling. My opponent want to keep Ashiok around. But I think we are going to attack now. Is it worth attacking? No, I don't think so. I think Plague Engineer doing fine at pulling just blocking duty. Okay, so we are dead to if my opponent finds a Creeping Chill. There's a Lightning Bolt, that's pretty good. So I'll play a Forest. Are we activating Raging Ravine? Can we kill my opponent this turn? So we Inquisition, take their last card. These attack. Inquisition, take their last card, so they've got nothing. We attack with Croxer and this, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But we might be able to Ravine as well. No, I don't think we can. What if my opponent doesn't have... If my opponent just has a land and we attack, this hits them for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 9, 10, 11, plus 4 is 15. Plus this would be exact if we attack with the Ravine. But if this is able to attack back... Oh no, because we'd have to clear the blocker. So yeah, we can't do that, unfortunately. We could Lightning Bolt... I think we're just attacking. Yeah, I think we're just going to attack with these two. Do I even attack with Plague Engineer? Yeah, I think so. I think we're at the point now. They ditch a cathartic reunion. Okay, so they don't take any damage from that. Okay, so they are blocking there, which is fine. Go to 10. Are we interested in dealing? I think now we just, yeah, okay, so now the plan is just do this. Ashiok to get rid of their entire stuff. Ping them. Oh no, we can't ping them. Okay, oh yeah, that's a good point. I had forgotten that they had ley lines, so we couldn't have done any of that stuff anyway. So I think we just play a... We could try and draw another card. Yeah, let's draw a card. Inquisition's not ideal. Get back the peatland though. And then say go. So does my opponent have anything with haste? That's the question. Okay, we get there. Good stuff. Nice to win against Dredge there. Ashiok and Plague Engineer really coming clutch there, which is nice. Okay, join us again for round number 4. Okay, welcome back for round number 4. We are on the play. Let's see what hand we open. Okay, so it's a Lurus deck. So I think we're going to keep this against the Lurus deck. Probably creature based. I think we're going to lead off on Swamp. In case they're, a very aggressive deck. So argument for leading on one of the fetch lands to get a land that can cast a turn 2 Ren and 6, but I'm not too concerned about that. Rather Inquisition on 1, Inquisition on 2, and then Liliana. So we're probably going to take a discard spell if they have it here. They don't. Okay, so it is a very aggressive deck. They've got a lot of stuff. We're going to take the Swift Spear here. Although Swift Spear does die to Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I don't think we're going to take Swift Spear actually. I think we're going to take Scourge. Yeah, we'll take Scourge and then Inquisition away the Death Shadow and bolt the Swift Spear next to... although we can't bolt the Swift Spear very easily. No, I think we're going to take Swift Spear actually, because if we try and bolt the Swift Spear, my opponent can just Mutagenic Growth to save it. So it's going to take the Swift Spear. And then we're going to try and not fetch for a while. If we keep our life total at 20, my opponent can't play their Scourge of the Skyclaves. Okay, so we're just going to play out a land and Inquisition again. Okay, so opponent's found another land. So that still doesn't let them play Shadow. We are going to be fetching at some point to play this Liliana, so I think they're more likely to be able to cast the Scourge. Yeah, we'll take the Scourge. We'll stay at 20 life until the end of my opponent's next turn, so they can't cast a top decked Scourge of the Skyclaves. Probably shouldn't yield in case they do find an aggressive creature. Wouldn't like to see a Thoughtseize here. Okay, there's a Dark Confidant. So, we know the 3 cards in my opponent's hand. We can Lightning Bolt the Bob now and then Liliana tick up. How do we feel about that? I think that's better, because then we can Edict away the next spell my next creature my opponent plays. So we'll get a Blood Crypt. Not confident in Shadow. Is cool. Yeah, definitely wanting to get rid of the Bob. Don't want my opponent drawing loads of cards. Okay, we're a bit flooded here, but this kind of vindicates our decision to bolt and then keep plussing with Liliana. We've got pretty low impact cards to get rid of. What are we going to play here? I don't think we want to get basic forests. I think we're just going to play the peat land. Tick up. We'll get rid of a foot. We are going to need more red mana. We may want to get basic mountain. We're less likely to want to get basic forest. Will we want to get basic swamp? No, we need a mountain anyway. So, and we've got basic swamp. Yeah, just for the purposes of Croxer, if we find it. Opponent discards Battle Rage, left with Death Shadow and Mutagenic Growth in hand. Okay, there's a land. Probably going to play the Shadow. They could put Lurrus in their hand. Because Death Shadow immediately just dies to Liliana. Might want to use that. Yeah, they're using their mana to put Lurrus into their hand. Okay, Renin 6 is a nice pickup, especially since we've got this peat land. So now we will go ahead and fetch a basic forest, I think. So get the forest into play. Play Renin 6, then we tick up. No real point in we want to get them discarding when we're not. Okay, opponent discards Death Shadow. Do we immediately crack for a card here? We've played a land this turn. So I think I'm just going to tick up. We'll get a land back, and then at the end of my opponent's turn, we'll crack the peat land. This good because we don't want whatever card we draw from peat land to get Thoughtseize. Okay, opponent packs it in. So this looking like just straight red-black Shadow. So red-black Shadow with Swift Spear. So it's not Jund. There's the potential for Blood Moon out of the sideboard that we need to be wary of. Cards we don't really want. So discard. I'm on the fence on this one. I think I've cut it before, but just taking their threats because they're so threat light. You know, the heavy hitters in Death Shadow and Scourge. There's only 4 of them in the deck, 4 of each. Lightning Bolt on the chopping block potentially. Just fairly low impact. You know, you can get them, but especially when they're running Mutagenic Growth, actually, I think we'll look to cut a number of Lightning Bolts. Plague Engineer we want in, and Liliana's Triumph we want in. I think that's... they're probably running Croxer, so you could consider Ashiok, especially with their Lurrus as well. Renin 6, because they're playing Bob, will keep those in. They might side some Bobs out. Let's cut a couple of Thoughtseizes and a Lightning Bolt first of all to just bring in these cards that we definitely want. And then, do we want Ashiok here? Would we rather see Ashiok than a Lightning Bolt? I think on the draw we'll keep Lightning Bolt in. Yeah, let's go with this. this matchup of one where we're glad we've got Terminate instead of Trophy. So what's my opponent doing? Opponent's kept 7. I don't think we can keep this. 4 lands and then Crocs doesn't come down for ages. No, we have to mulligan this one sadly. Yeah, this is better. We'll bottom a land here. So bottom one of these. We are going to want to be able to get basics just in case my opponent's running Blood Moon. So yeah, we'll ditch the Overgrown Tomb. And then we're going to start playing basic lands out, I think. Playing fetch lands. And then if my opponent hasn't got something that deals us direct damage... sorry. So they haven't got a Swift Spear, they would have played the Bauble afterwards. They're sort of scrying. Looks like a discard spell. Yep, Thoughtseize. See what my opponent takes here. Takes the Liliana, which is fair enough. Another Bauble. This hand could be anything. You know, I play quite a bit of Shadow, and it's like you keep these hands with 2 Mistress Baubles and some Street Wraiths, or when Street Wraith's being played, and you know, it can just be anything. Ooh. Now, opponent got 4 cards in hand. They know we're drawing the Inquisition. I think we play it here. I think we fetch basic Swamp and play the Inquisition. There's definitely an argument for staying at 20, but we can't stay at 20 forever. Okay, yeah, I think I'm sold on that. It's close, but we're going to want to go Inquisition into Tarmogoyf into Plague Engineer, I think. Double Tide Hollow Sculler is interesting, but they haven't... Okay, so they're splashing white, but it's usually a very light splash. One land, one white land in their deck. So, they haven't... Okay, so it's not a Tide Hollow Sculler. I think it's Fatal Push. Try and just get there with Tarmogoyf. Kolaghan's Command is a 2-for-1, but it's quite late. Quite a lot later on in the game. This is oh, it is non-land, so they can take a creature with Tide Hollow Sculler. I think we're just going to take the card they can definitely cast. Tarmogoyf's going to be a 5/6. They do get 2 looks at a land. But they do only run 18. Okay, they draw a Thoughtseize. So it doesn't look like my opponent's found a land. Okay, we find Overgrown Tomb. Not too afraid of Blood Moon at the moment, so we're going to play Blood Crypt. When I say that, I mean they haven't got the lands to cast it. Opponent still looking for their second land. Lightning Bolt's a nice pickup. I think we're... Yeah, I think we're going to go and get ahead and get basic Forest here. If we draw Croxo, it'll be a little bit sad. Maybe I should just play the Shock Land. Yeah, I think we'll get Forest just to... just to insulate. So we're going to play this Plague Engineer. They can kill it with Kolaghan's Command, but not for a while. So this is a zombie. So I think we just name zombie. It just means that my Plague Engineer can attack through their Tide Hollow Scullers. Okay, they found a bolt anyway. Okay, so if they find a land now, we will be empty-handed. Not that land, though. If it's a Scourge, that's fine. Okay, it's a Bomat Courier. Okay, Kolaghan's Command. Okay, a little bit punished for finding this. So we know that my opponent has Colligan's Command and 2 Scullers in hand. So I think we kill the Bomat Courier, buy back Tarmogoyf. Yeah, because Plague Engineer dies to the Colligan's Command in my opponent's hand, so we're going to return target creature from your graveyard, destroy target artifact, get back Tarmogoyf, kill the Bomat Courier, and then we're not going to play the land because we want to, if my opponent finds a land for, is this until it leaves? Yeah, so we can, so yeah, the reason we don't play a land here is we want to be able to discard it to Colligan's Command if my opponent goes for that route. Okay, so they're scullering, so opponent kind of forced into taking the bolt here, because otherwise next turn I just Tarmogoyf, okay, maybe not. But this is fine for me because I now bolt the Sculler, then play the Goyf. Play the card my opponent knows about. Pass the turn, and we have a 6/7. My opponent is at 8 life. We know that they've got 1 Sculler in hand. There it is, but only hits a land. Oh, they do have a shadow though. So, what do we do here? Okay, Lightning Bolt. So if we attack with Goyf, and they block with Sculler, we attack with Goyf. If they take it in hopes of killing us next turn, they'll get a 2. We know that their last card is Colligan's Command. This is an interesting spot. We've got time on the clock, so let's think about this one. So Lightning Bolt's an interesting draw. So if we attack, they don't block, they're dead. If we attack, they block with Sculler. That's quite likely, because they might fear that we've top decked a Lightning Bolt or a Colligan's Command. Death Shadow on the backswing isn't too scary. If we attack, they block with Shadow and Sculler, that's perfect. We can't force a chump here by bolting. So I think we just attack, see what they do. If they, I mean, any scenario is fine with me. I think if they block with Sculler, that's fine. If they double block, that's fine. Actually, a double block is best for me. It clears out their entire board. Okay, so I think we just attack here. There's no mutagenic growth in my opponent's hand. If they just take the damage, they're dead. The shadow doesn't grow. So, let's see what they do. Yeah, they are going for the double block. Okay, so we want to order it that way round, and then Lightning Bolt on the Sculler will be pretty good. We get to kill the Tarmogoyf. Does my opponent know about this Bloodstained Mire? Well, I might as well play it in case it gets Colligan's commanded anyway. Might want to get a red land at the end of turn. Actually, yeah, we probably will. I think the double block was right there from my opponent. Just having to hope we didn't draw something that blows them out. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and grab another red source here. Yeah, I'll go and get Stomping Ground. Opponent got... So they're probably wanting to Colligan's Command in my draw step, because... and then get back a creature. If we draw Bolt or K Command, that's nice. Okay, well that's just a dead draw anyway. Because yeah, otherwise my opponent could have cast Lurus, put Lurus into their hand. So this is Colligan's Command, returning Death Shadow. Okay, so my opponent does have Death Shadow in hand, but we're not winning the game by not attacking. And now we've got several lethal draws. opponent got 2 cards in hand. That's a Wrenn 6. So we can't attack. I think we just play the Wrenn 6. If my opponent has Team Battle Rage, we're dead. So what we do is we're just going to ping, put my opponent to 1. So yeah, draws there. We could have drawn Bloodbraid Elf, Lightning Bolt, Colligan's Command, a removal spell. So we did have a lot of draws at killing my opponent there. Opponent got 2. Okay, so they have a Fatal Push. So Battle Rage, I wouldn't imagine is in my opponent's deck. Could be a haste threat. Okay, they're killing Wrenn 6, which means they don't have any of those things. Oh, that's a Scourge. So yeah, we're going to have to find something here. No, just a Wooded Foothill. So we do lose this one. 1 point of life. Yeah, a bit frustrating there. We had a lot of draws again to kill my opponent. And we kind of found a lot of land. We did find the Wrenn 6, but there's nothing else we could have done. Fatal Push there would have been... Fatal Push into Terminate, yeah, if we could have drawn these a bit quicker, but there you go, that's the way it goes. This Shadow deck does operate very well, obviously, at 1 life. Let's see if there's anything we want to change for the 3rd game. So it did come down to top decking, but I don't think we want to remove Inquisitions. I think we can just resubmit here. We would like to play first. What's this? Yeah, this hand's perfect. This is the kind of classic Jund Inquisition Tarmogoyf Liliana, which I think is, yeah, this is what you want to be doing. I mean, every game, but here it's going to be good. We've cut the Inquisitions, so finding them turn 1 is obviously absolutely ideal. So here, my opponent has a Bomat Courier, has an Inquisition, and a Death Shadow. We can kill. We're not going to take the Bomat Courier. We're just going to take the Inquisition. We've got so many high power threats in our hand that them dealing with that for 1 mana is really good. We just want to protect our 1, 2, 3 progression, I think. I could see an argument for taking Death Shadow. Just take the threat and hope that we do well. But getting this Liliana down, we're not too worried about the Bomat Courier. One might be tempted to take that so that we can stay at 20 and prevent a Scourge. But yeah, we can kill that at will with Colligan's Command. We can block it with Tarmogoyf, and we're going to have to take some damage from my lands anyway. Okay, always happy to see more Tarmogoyfs. Okay, I think this is fine. We're going to get away with it here, but I should have played the fetch land there in order to put a land into the graveyard. This is out of bolt range, but I mean, they could Bomat Courier and... Oh, they can't do that. Oh, there's a Scourge. Opponent at 16. So this is a little bit annoying because... Oh, drawing another Liliana is nice there though. So we're just going to go down to... We're going to get a basic Swamp. So what do we know my opponent's got in hand? They played the Bauble, they've played that, they've played their Sacred Foundry. So here, there's no real point in Liliana-ing. I mean, Liliana Edict, they don't sacrifice the Scourge. So I think we're just going to Colligan's Command. Target player discards a card and we'll kill the Bomat Courier. Because Edicting there just does the same thing, but my opponent, we have to kind of waste another Liliana next turn. Goyf is now a 5/6. So able to block the Scourge. Yeah, didn't want to attack there because it enables the Shadow in their hand. Croxer, that's fine. I think I think we're going to get rid of Tarmogoyf here. We just want to keep these Lilianas in hand. Okay. Full house of Lilianas here. We'll edict you. And then we do, given our hand, we're going to start attacking. My opponent has got a shadow. If they've got 2 shadows, you might be in a little bit of trouble, but we've got so many Lilianas. There's a shadow. Can't play 2 shadows, interestingly. Okay, opponent a little bit mana screwed again. Okay, we're never casting that Inquisition, so we're not going to have time. So tick up, get some stuff out of my opponent's hand. We'll discard the Inquisition. We've got another Croxer. We'll go ahead and play another Liliana. Keep that one. Edict my opponent. Yeah, just not wanting to give my opponent time here to assemble something. Goyf's Lethal next turn. We've got a Liliana. You know, one of the cards in their hand is Kolaghan's Command. Another Death Shadow. Anything else? Yeah, we have now won this game, I believe. So we'll tip this up. We can't cast this Season Pyromancer anyway. We know my opponent's got some decent stuff in hand. Get rid of Kolaghan's Command. I don't think there's anything we lose to here. They haven't got any flash creatures, for example. Keep the Liliana. Yeah, we just get there. Okay, so drawing 3 copies of Liliana of the Veil in this kind of matchup is always going to be good, especially with my opponent's sort of short on lands. But there we go. Good to get a win. We're at 3-1. Hopefully we can break the 3-2 curse with Jund and close out the 4-1. See you back again for round number 5. Ooh. Right, welcome to round number 5. Going for that elusive 4-1 at the moment with Jund. We are on the play. Yeah, I'm usually pretty happy to keep a turn 2 run and 6. So we're going to just play out a fetch land here and pass. See what we're against. Flooded Strand. Okay, so what land are we going to want to get? So against Flooded Strand, I definitely don't want to fetch basics. If it's spirits, you might to save damage, but here you want to keep basics in your deck for Path to Exile. So let's go and grab a Blood Crypt. Okay, now we're going to play a Ren and 6. We're afraid of... we've drawn Liliana, which is really good. So opponent could have Spell Snare or Force of Negation. Force of Negation is still a 2 for 1 though, so I think we're fairly happy with that. I think we'll fetch Shock here. Let's go and grab what we're grabbing. I guess, yeah, I guess we want another reason to fetch here is in case this is some sort of taxes deck, which isn't uncommon. So yeah, I think we'll go and get Stomping Ground here. We got Overgrown Tomb in hand to complete the 3 different ones. So we'll go to 16 and then we will cast a Ren and 6. Spell Snare or Force, the only things I can think of that really deal with this right away. There's Force. Okay, so Force and Opt mean that this is either blue-white control or a variant thereof. Jeskai or Esper. Could be like Ban, I suppose. But you see Ban less at the moment. Okay, fetching main phase. Oh, okay, so it's Stoneblade. So is it blue-white Stoneblade or is it ban is the question. So we are, yeah, we're going to shock here. I think it's going to go for this Liliana. Try and make this a Liliana game. Liliana, one of the most powerful tools in our arsenal against control decks. So we're going to edict my opponent. Benefit of being on the play here. Okay, nothing to say from my opponent, so we'll tick up. We're going to get rid of a land. We're going to play a land and then cast a Goyf. Goyf, fairly low value in these matchups usually, although a bit higher value against the Stoneblade list that actually run creatures. Not too bad a position here. We've got Lightning Bolt and we've got Maelstrom Pulse to deal with a potential Planeswalker. And obviously a Goyf on the field. I wouldn't be surprised to see this get pathed now. Could see an Archmage's chance to draw 2 here. Okay, so they are drawing 2, decided against countering the Tarmogoyf. Opponent back up to 6 cards. Let's see, they might be digging for lands, but what did they do? Oh, they discarded Sword of Fire and Ice. Oh, that's a Teferi. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this bounce Tarmogoyf. Yeah, so we can't Lightning Bolt this end of turn. Opponent might be looking for lands. No, they find a land. Okay, so we'll fetch. Yeah, wanting to keep basics in my deck to get the last shock that we can get with that land. And okay, this is yeah, I think we're going to get rid of the pulse here. So we'll Inquisition first. Inquisition first here because Liliana might miss. I mean, if we tick up Liliana, they discard a 3-drop of a card with CMC to 2 or 3 or 1 or whatever. And then we Inquisition, it might miss, so I think it's better to just Inquisition here. Okay. Right, this is interesting. So we're going to want to get rid of the Stoneforge Mystic, because it's the only thing we can get rid of. So my opponent has 4 cards. They're all pretty good. It's tempting to discard Tarmogoyf here to Liliana. Although Tarmogoyf does deal with Jace or a creature. Opponent got Cryptic Command. It's tempting to go Lightning Bolt, Tarmogoyf, and then wait on the Liliana in case they play Jace. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to go Tarmogoyf, Lightning Bolt to Teferi. How much do we care about Teferi? Would we rather just get one of these cards out of my opponent's hand? They'll probably get rid of the land. I think with the cards in my hand, we're quite a long way from ultimate. Let me know. Please do let me know if you think that this is wrong. Not ticking up the Lily, but I think we want to keep Maelstrom Pulse. I mean, Goyf can kill Jace, I suppose. Maybe that was wrong. I mean, my opponent may not play Jace here. So Jace bounce the Goyf. Okay, they do play Jace. They're brainstorming. Okay, so they've probably read that we've got a Maelstrom Pulse. Or something that kills Jace. Okay, so drawing a land is fine here. So we're going to try and attack the Jace. Would not be at all surprised to see a path to exile here. Path to Exile. We will search, go and grab a swamp. We'll play a land, Maelstrom Pulse the Jace. Hope they haven't drawn Force, and then we can get a one-sided tick-up going. So my opponent's they've had to fetch away, so we don't know what my opponent's got in hand because they shuffled some stuff away with Jace. I'd imagine they've kept Cryptic, and I imagine they may have shuffled away Batterskull. So here is where we have to start being careful with Liliana, because if we, so let's say we draw a land, Bloodbraid Elf's our best draw. Raging Ravine. Raging Ravine, interesting, because, so the problem here is if we tick up Liliana, if we play the land, tick up Liliana, they bounce Liliana with Cryptic, we have to discard it, so we're just going to get rid of this Raging Ravine. I value Liliana higher, I think. I'm going to click this Batterskull for unknown information. Snapcaster Mage. A little bit annoying there. Yeah, that is that's not ideal, because they're going to get to draw 2 cards. Yeah, I feel like this one potentially slipping away. My opponent now really on top, but a Bloodbraid Elf off the top could claw us back in. Okay, so I'm just going to keep plussing. But look at this, classic matchup, Jund versus Blue-White Control. Like we're back in 2019 or whatever, 2018. Okay, I think this is probably pretty much all she wrote here, because my opponent's going to get to attack the Liliana off the table with their Snapcaster Mages, and I believe they probably still have Cryptic in hand. They got 2 cards, they didn't play a land, so pretty in a pretty bad way here. And they can just sit on their Cryptic forever. Croxer or yeah, Croxer or Bloodbraid are good draws now. I think we're going to Lightning Bolt one of these Snapcaster Mages. Just try and buy us a little bit more time. Can't see my opponent countering this. They do decide to Cryptic command that, which is interesting. I'm a bit surprised they're going for the clock. They must have some sort of counter spell. We'll do a Liliana here. That's a good draw. Would have preferred obviously a Bloodbraid Elf, but we'll take it. Can't be too greedy. Mana Leak doesn't counter this. Logic Knot does. Maybe they have Logic Knot. Okay, they've got Force. I think we'll just pack it in here. I think that's pretty untenable from that point. Okay, so Blue-White Control. So we can get rid of our Fatal Pushes. What do we want to bring in? We haven't actually got too much to bring in. Oh yeah, we've got 4 Collective Brutalities. So yeah, they're likely better than a lot of stuff we've got going on. So Terminate can go. Abrupt Decay doesn't really hit anything. So we've got this 60. What do we think of this? I can't see anything I'd rather have. All the discards good. Bolt is good at killing planeswalkers. I'd quite like to cut a Tarmogoyf, not the best in this matchup. Frostodon's not doing anything. Deglamor not doing anything. Triumph sacrifice a creature. No, don't want that. Okay, I think we've got to go with this. We're kind of missing some of the heavy hitters in our sideboard that's good against control and mid-range. But I think we'll go with this. Could we see a Decay instead of a Goyf? What are they playing? It's only really to Fairy. Rest in peace, I suppose. I think this is fine. So the key cards here: Croxer, Renin 6, Liliana, Bloodbraid Elf. This is obviously not the hand you wanna see. So I'll mulligan that away. This is okay. It's not ideal, but if we can draw some more, we're going to keep it. We don't want to mulligan again, really. We're going to keep the fetch land because we want to put as many cards in the graveyard for Croxer as we can. So we're going to try and just go Inquisition, Croxer, and then escape Croxer as quickly as possible. Double Skyclave Apparition and an Opt. Well, this is a pretty good hand from my opponent. Maelstrom Pulse good at dealing with Skyclave Apparitions. I think we're just going to take Snare here. Not really any much point in taking the Apparitions. We could have taken Opt, but... So, yeah, we're going to Croxer. Colligan's Command is a nice pickup there. So we'll play this Croxer. Have my opponent discard a card of their choice, and then next turn... Okay, so we're just going to try and get my opponent to discard lots of cards here. So next... Yeah, I think next turn we will Colligan's Command at the end of their turn. Have them discard, buy back Croxer, play Croxer again. I think that's the kind of route we want to go. Yeah, mulliganing on the play, not ideal here. They put a card on the bottom, so we know 3 of their 5 cards. Brutality is not too bad, although we know they've got 2 apparitions in hand. So not really something we want to do there. Apparition, interesting, out of the sideboard of blue-white control. Not something I've seen before. I can see it. Very good card. So we'll go and get... We need to get a Shockland. We don't want to get basic forest, essentially. So... Colligan's Command. So we'll return a card. And they can discard a card. We'll get back Croxer, you discard a card. See what happens. 5 cards, but we know we know 3 of them. Okay, they're just countering this. Okay, so that's a little bit annoying. So this is where we need to hit. We haven't found the land. So we know this is the trouble. We know 3 of the cards in my opponent's hand. This would have been a really good turn. Well, I mean, we haven't found a land, but this would, yeah. We know 3 of them. We're not that likely to hit with Collective Brutality is the problem. I think we're going to cast it. We kind of want to use our mana. I think we're going to cast it. Plus, we want to get a card in the graveyard for Croxer. Okay, my opponent hasn't... They haven't got too much going on, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, Collective Brutality a bit wasted there, but if they Hallowed Fountain and pass, we really need to find a land. Inquisition's actually pretty nice. We're going to cast it now because as soon as we find... Oh, triple apparition is... We're going to have to fight through triple apparition. If they play a Batter Skull, we can Maelstrom Pulse it, which I won't be surprised to see them do here. The question is, if we draw a land, do we Bloodbraid instead? I think the answer is probably yes. Okay, so we're just going to pulse away this while we can. If we can find a land, we're now in fairly good shape against control. Unless they find a Jace or something. They've topped with that. No, Jace. Okay, so now they could Fate Seal us. Yeah. Fate Sealing us is not ideal. Thinking about it, so a land, they've put it on the bottom, so we really need to find an untapped land here. We do. So the choices are Croxer or Bloodbraid. It's definitely Bloodbraid here. So we need another black mana. I think we might just get basic now, because they have got 2 creatures in hand. Okay, so we'll Bloodbraid. We'd like to kill the Jace, really. Oh, Inquisition's not bad. Take an Apparition. We are fighting through these Apparitions. Jace was a really good draw. Kind of would have preferred my opponent to Brainstorm, because then we would have killed it, but I suppose they haven't actually drawn any cards with the Jace. Can this kill Bloodbraid Elf? Yes. So my opponent will end up with 3 cards. We don't know that they'll have an Apparition now. So yeah, Bloodbraid Elf would have been nice to hit. Colligan's Command there, but Inquisition was fine. Still a 2 for 1. I remember when these two were unbanned. It was quite an interesting time. Bloodbraid Elf a good counter to Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay, so we find a land. I think we're just going to go for another Bloodbraid Elf. If my opponent's found a Cryptic Command, yeah, we'll cast a Ren and 6. Question is, do we want to do anything with this Ren and 6 before? No, I think we're going to attack first. Attack all at Jace, just in case my opponent has a Path or a Snapcaster to block. They do have a Path. If this is Path, Snap, Path, we're in quite a lot of bother here. Path and Purge. Okay, so I think we're going to ping Jace. Don't think it's worth trying to just get a land back, and we'll hold the land in hand just to represent the unknown for my opponent. Yeah, this Jace is just kind of wrecking us here. Opponent probably Apparitions away the Ren and 6. Okay, so I've got 2 cards in hand. Could do with stop drawing mountains. Maybe we should have played this in case you draw a land to play around Mana Leak for the Croxer. But we'll go for the Croxer here. Get rid of... See if this resolves. My opponent does have a Mana Leak, and I think this is just game over now. Yeah, it was that turn where my opponent had 2 Apparitions in hand, and then found an opt into a Jace. Yeah, this is it's not that this is game over. Just didn't quite get there. It's just those middle turns where we really needed to my opponent to miss on a big Planeswalker. Can't see many ways out of this now. Yeah, we'll just concede here, I think. my opponent gets to play a sword and equip it next turn. We can't cast Crocs. Yeah, this is just game over. Oh, the 3-2 curse continues, sadly, but enjoyable games. Enjoying Modern Jund at the moment. Yeah, maybe some more kind of grindy cards needed, but that blue-white control the second game I think was... Yeah, we got a tad unlucky with my opponent. My opponent finding that Jace was pretty brutal. But yeah, I think I'm enjoying playing this deck. Hopefully at some point we'll get more than a 3-2. But thanks very much for watching. If this is something you enjoy, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you'd like to see, and especially if there's any plays you would have done differently. I'm always keen to learn and go through those. So yeah, hope to see you again next time. Cheers.